Welcome to this video that wants to clarify the concept of countable or uncountable nouns. When we want to say sentences in English or we want to write a sentence using a countable or an uncountable noun, in front of that noun or before that word we can find several typical words that are influenced by if the word is countable or uncountable. They are a, an, some, or any. To do it properly, we need to remember to ask ourselves 3 questions in the correct order. The first one would be, I am talking about a countable noun or about an uncountable noun. It's important because if it's countable, we would have 4 options. It could be a or an or some or any, but if it's uncountable, it's only possible to write some or any. The second question would be the sentence. Is it affirmative, negative, or interrogative? And we've got 3 options. If the noun we are talking about is uncountable, we don't need to ask ourselves more questions. It's over. We've got the solution to our problem. It's uncountable, it's affirmative. For example, there is some milk in the fridge. We need to use the word some. If the word is uncountable or a negative at the same time, we would say that the correct answer is any. For example, there isn't any sugar in the cupboard. And finally, if it's a question, the correct word that we need is also any. Is there any honey in the cupboard, for example? But if it's countable, it isn't over because we need to ask ourselves a third question. And the third question would be, is it singular or plural? So, too many options here. That's why it's so complicated to write the right word, the right time. But it's easier than it seems. When it's singular, we can write a or an. What we need to take into account if the noun starts with a vowel, for example, orange, we should write an in front of orange. But if it starts by a consonant, we need to use a. For example, a strawberry, or an orange, an apple, or a pear. If it's singular, 2 options. And if it's plural, we've got the same options that we had if the noun wasn't countable. So, is a word that is countable, is affirmative, and is plural? We use some. It's a word that is countable, is negative, and plural. We use any. Finally, it's a word that is countable, is interrogative, and plural. We use any again. So, if we say there are, because it's countable and plural, we can't use there is, as in the uncountable sentences. There are some pineapples in the market. If it's negative, we would say there aren't any strawberries in the fridge. And when it's interrogative, we would say are there any grapes? So, the important thing is to ask ourselves the 3 questions in the right order, knowing that if it's countable, we need the 3 of them, and if it's uncountable, we only need the answer to the first 2 to know the correct word to use before. I hope this video clarifies you which word do you want to use when there is a countable or an uncountable noun, and I wish you good luck with the activities and the practice.